talk about, let's say, diversity and inclusion, how would we define diversity and inclusion? Because I know that is oftentimes one of the limiting factors, right? Is when we think about, well, is it just having different groups of people, different ages of people? And Mr. Long, could you expound on that a little bit in terms of how we define diversity and inclusion?
Oftentimes, when people think about diversity, equity, and inclusion, they think it's, I have one white person, one black person, I have a male, a female. And diversity is not just what we look like on the outside. Diversity is about different life experiences. We were talking earlier about just going to an all-black college and how we're not monolith, right? How are we showing up as individual people and embracing everyone? Diversity is not just, I always say diversity by itself is not successful without inclusion. If you're not thinking about who's missing from the conversation, who's not at the table, then you're most likely going to be unsuccessful with diversity because you're not thinking about everyone that should be there in the decision making. Inclusion without diversity will never work. As we think about equity, a lot of times, and I was talking to Dr. Batts about this, is they think it means lowering the bar. Equity is not about lowering the bar. Equity is about thinking about who is missing from given these experiences. Harvard Business Review talks about having a bench of candidates. And I always believe if you have that bench, you'll be able to see immediately that you are missing certain people that need to be in that discussion or having the opportunity just to simply have the exposure in order for them to compete. And so when you think about diversity, don't just look at the surface of what we look like on the outside. Think about all the parts from what we are experiencing in our lives, what we look like on the outside. I have people from different races, backgrounds. But we come together wanting to understand one another to make sure we have the best and most productive teams. And I found because of that, I have had some of the most successful organizations.
Describe what got you to be a part of this movement, to have that mindset shift to say, I know diversity, equity, inclusion, access is important, accessibility is important. What each of just one at a time. What's your story in regards to diversity, equity, and inclusion?
I was telling Sergeant Wilson a story like back in 1984 when I first joined the Air Force, and I remember like I was struck because I saw this individual who looked like me, who had a lot of stripes on his sleeves. Mm-hmm. And that individual missed out an incredible opportunity because all he had to do was give me a thumb up, point at me, or give me an eye wink. And he missed that opportunity. And it scarred me to this day. And I say it like, if I ever in a position where I can go out there and show my face to individuals so they can aspire to be like me, I ain't gonna miss that opportunity. And so like that time frame when I was command chief of Lackland Air Force Base, I made sure that people got out there and saw me. So everyone that came here, I tried to go out there, meet them, shake their hand or whatever else, have some type of positive reaction over there with them. And you know, it's amazing. I've been retired now 12 years, and people still go back to that little time frame, how you went out there and like interact with them. And you know, regardless of the color right there, because you know, when you're interacting, you know, you represent more than yourself. Mm-hmm. And so, and it is very, very powerful.